the woods. Mike Thompson. Mike Thompson's great little still life shot he shot on his desk right in front of him early this morning. Shot it in black and white. And really love this big dark shadow here, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually, I'm really starting to dig hard light, Don. It's weird.
No, that's fine. Very nice. Really nice.
There you go.
You know, the photographer Frank?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Robert Frank. He did a little book called The Americans, probably one of the top. Yeah. Check him out for shadows.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want to see?
What's that?
You want to see shadows? That movie that everybody was talking about, the Lighthouse. They shot on Kodak XX.
Don't know that.
Yeah. Don't bother watching it unless you just want to watch it for the look, because the movie itself is weird as hell. But it looks cool.
Not into movies these days, but yeah, I'll check out the look. That could be fun. See some clips. Tommy, are you here?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We were talking about your image earlier today. Looks like a pretty much top-down light, correct?
It was big softbox behind, kind of hanging over a little bit, and the surface here is some leftover tile from a bathroom remodel from years ago.
Ah, okay. And you see, everybody see this dark area here? How many of you think it's a shadow? Because it's not a shadow. This tile is much darker in reality. Am I right, Tommy?
Yes, it is.
This grayness is caused because of the big softbox Tommy's got over the top of this is reflecting off this rock, which has a bit of a shine to it. So when the light can't hit the rock becomes its regular color. What you're seeing here is the underside of the garlic and the potato, just basically stopping the light from reflecting back from the tabletop. It's a really beautiful, beautiful way to light. Love it. Great job.
Thank you, Don.
About a 50?
I'm an APS-C shooter. I think this one, I think it was like 55 on 1.5 crop. So
about a 70?
78, something like that.
Yep. Good. Gretchen. Is Gretchen here? She has to be here. She put her picture up.
I'm here. I just muted myself.
Okay. Cute little picture. Lots of sparklies and speculars in the bubbles here. That looks cool. Using depth of field, a soft background to pull the subject out is a great technique as well. I imagine, is this window light?
It is not. It was shot in my basement, which is windowless.
So this is a softbox?
No. So I guess since last time I took a class with you, I've gotten a little more used to using artificial light. So this is actually a speed light with like a sock over the end of it on the left side, and on the right side it was a white reflector, like a white card.
Right.
Then obviously on the back is a white sheet, and underneath, and what that boat is actually sitting on top of, what that reflective surface is a clear glass baking dish.
Oh, cool.
So when you...
I'm sorry, I didn't post. I can post the behind the scenes photo. I just didn't post it, but I can.
So Gretchen, when you say a sock, you mean like a sock that you wear on your foot?
No,
Oh.
it's a flashback.
Oh, okay.
It's a flashback.
Because I was going to say on
I
a
will,
speed light, I didn't think socks came with speed lights.
So yeah, I got, you know what, actually I found out about it from somebody who told me about a flashback a long time ago, and I was like, what's a flashback in this group? But it's probably been years ago, and I was like, well, what's that? And they explained to me it's like just like a diffuser sock, but it's really, really small, and it just goes over
Right.
the end of your flash.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Like a Stoffen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like soft, like fabric. It's not hard.
Okay.
Hmm.
Very nice. Thank you. I like your colors, the blue and the tans, and then everything else being white. Really stands out.
It's very challenging.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to be. HHVV Valdez. I don't know how to pronounce HHVV.
Hi, Don. This is Humberto Valdez from Mexico.
Hey, Umberto, how you doing?
And thank you very much.
All right. So what I really liked about your octopus shot here is we've got very matte surface, as you can all see here. This is very dry matte wood. Then we have matte wood here and wet wood here. Notice how the wet wood looks like it's a little bit shinier. We're not getting any major speculars off the water, but it does change the tone of the wood through here. Then we have the octopus, which is very shiny. And we have all the highlights. Look at the highlights running through here and through here. Every little sucker or whatever those are called here on the, is this octopus or squid? I can't tell.
This is octopus.
Yeah. Every little highlight here, because this is a wet surface. So Humberto has created dry, medium reflection, high reflection, all in the same image. And shooting straight down. What's your light source, sir?
This is window light.
Okay.
And you can see my setup on the previous photo.
This is your setup here?
This is the setup.
Okay.
I have two photos. On the octopus, I use window light. And on the next one, which is X, I use the softbox.
Okay. So shooting straight down.
So this is
and then this is the window. The other one was a softbox.
No, this is the softbox.
Oh, this is a softbox. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Really, you know, I always look at the highlights. I love the highlight here. I love the highlight on every one of those red wires. Is perfect, which is one of the things that softboxes are known to do. Nice highlights here, deep shadows here. It looks really photographic. I like it a lot. Looks to me like you kept your detail in here. I can't really tell. It's too small on my screen, but did you keep your detail?
Yes, I took care of the highlights, and I do soften the texture of the X. I wanted to look soft.
I like your composition. You got this nice, these angles going through here against the vertical of the wood.
Yes.
Really works well. Keeps the eye moving.
Thank you.
Good job, sir.
By the way, Don, thank you very much for this training course.
You're very welcome. As long as we're not all killing each other 8 weeks from now, huh?
I hope not.
I read somebody today was like, oh, it's been a whole week. I'm like, it's been a week. Oh, dude, this is not good. We got a long way to go.
First world problems, right?
Yeah, first world problems is running out of ice cream. This is good. Gray, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, Don?
Good. What's the weather up there in the mountains?
It snowed last Friday, but everything is melted again, and my grass is starting to turn green. So I might have to do yard work soon.
Well, we all have our crosses to bear, Gray.
Yes, we do.
They still going to let you guys go up hiking in the mountains, or is that
they closed they closed Rocky Mountain National Park on Sunday. So there are a lot of people trying to find alternative trails, but they closed the park.
So does that mean you can't get over to Big Lake or whatever it's called?
I think you'd have to go around the long way.
Okay, so you have to go. Okay, yeah, I was wondering whether they use it as a real transportation road.
Yeah, nope. So you'd have to go back down towards Aspen and then cut up that way.
Yep. This is really nice crumpled. We know they're boots back there. We can see the shape of it. We know what's going on, and then the buckle is really cool. One thing I would have done, Gray,
Yeah.
is put a white piece of paper right there. Okay. Done the shot, and then used, taking this out in Photoshop just by cutting this and dragging over the top of the paper so it wouldn't show. Only because I'd love to see under here, really pull out that guy, and then this gold here, really make it gold like that to do it. I think it'd be really, really easy. So just take the shot with the paper there and then take a second shot without it and just grab the shot without it and cut it and drag it on top.
Yeah, that probably would have. I had a small piece of white paper in front of it to do the reflection, but it wasn't filling in as much as.
Right in here, this part right here.
Well, just even down below, where it's dark, right in here, right where you were.
Okay.
It was darker until I put the piece of paper there, but it still wasn't. The angle of incident wasn't strong enough to get that as bright as the rest of it. So.
Okay, very good. Nice. Looks like a 50.
I was using my 135.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Thank you.
Sheila Joy.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
We like this image this morning. I like it a lot. I would, like I said before, I think I would warm this up just a little bit more because we've got all these blues in the blueberries. All the blues.
I did warm it up since this morning. This is the warmed up image. So
it is?
It
It looks good then.
You would if you go back and look at it, you will be like, wow. Because as soon as I warmed it up, I was like, oh my gosh, it just made it pop so much more.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm telling you to warm it up, and I'm sitting here thinking, how much warmer would I want her to go? And I'm thinking, not very much.
Yeah. It's a window light camera left and a white card camera right to get the back side of the pot lit. I was also using my 105.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Now we talked a little bit about on some of the shots about maybe too shallow a depth of field.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were going to think about that.
I'm on the fence. I think you're right on the fence here. It maybe
I wondered about it. I have a few other shots where I had more in focus, but for some reason when I was picking them, this is the one that just kind of stood out to me. You know what I mean when I looked at the other ones, and I was.
This is about 6 inches deep, right? 6 to 8 inches deep.
Yes.
So you're going to have to gain quite a bit of depth of field to get to the bottom of this thing.
Yes.
Okay. That may be too much depending on back here. You do want this to be out of focus, but I would really like to see these berries in focus.
Yeah.
As the
using
shot
the
is
macro, using the macro, I'm still getting used to it, and I had it at an F3, and which is very close. So I probably could have had it out at F8 maybe.
Yeah.
And been able to gain some more clarity. I might have to retry it or try something different, but kind of the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good.
Thank you.
Mark.
I think you're about to have the same depth of field conversation with me.
With this shot?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You're fine. You're fine because this is not a picture of a knife. If it was a picture of a knife, we'd have a different discussion. This is a picture of action right there. That blade right into there, that's the defining moment of this photograph. That's what it's all about right there. So you're fine. I would say this, if you can print this out like 11 by 14, do it. I do not know how it's going to look to you, and I'm not sure I know how it would look to me. The thing about when you make a print, like a 16 by 20 or 11 by 14 print, you see the whole thing in your hand, in your eye, in your brain. You see the whole thing. And we love this shallow depth of field until we pick up a 16 by 20 print and 90% of it's out of focus.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, there's a lot of unfocused pixels here. I don't know if that would do it here, though. I think this is really the point of the picture is that blade. And you've driven it home beautifully by lighting, angle, and the depth of field to bring us in here. You also have kept texture all the way through this knife. That's really good.
Nice.
That's really good. Oh, this one passes muster, buddy. You're good.
Thank you.
You're good. But do print it so that you can see it, and then let us know. Let us know at some point what you think.
I can see what you're saying already. Envisioning it in my hand, how much of that is out of focus. So
Yep.
that'll be interesting.
Yep. All right. Matt Crowder. Matt, you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Were you here this morning?
I was not. I wish I could have been.
Okay. A couple of things I really, really like about your image is one of them is that little highlight right here on the corner.
Mhm.
It's the only highlight that lets us know there's a light back here. It's the only one in the entire image, and yet without it, it dulls the entire image. Go ahead and put your thumb over it, folks. Put your thumb over it, and you'll notice it dulls the entire image. That little highlight there is a clue to our brains that there's more going on here than just the top light. It fills in the shadow a little bit. This is a great highlight running down the top here, and here, and here, and then every one of your wrenches, every one of them is reflecting the light source. And they just jump off the page. Really, really nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
A couple of other things you did compositionally that I want to point out to folks. One of the things you got to be very careful about is if you crop something off in your image. So what Matt has done here is he's cropped off a little bit of that, and 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 a little bit of that. If you crop something, crop more. If you have 6 pictures, 6 items in here, and you crop 2 of them, crop more. Move in tighter, what have you. If you don't crop anything, don't crop anything. So if you imagine this thing in your mind's eye, we got everything in the picture except the end of this file. It's cropped right here. But everything else, all the wrenches, the scissors are pulled in, nothing else is cropped. What does the file look like? It's a simple word, starts with a W. It looks wrong. Looks like a mistake. So we control the edges of our frames. We're going to crop one thing, crop another thing. My rule of thumb is if I crop one thing, I want to crop something on at least 3 of 4 sides, but hopefully 4 sides if I could get it. So I wouldn't even mind, Matt, is if this thing pulled down a little bit, it's cropped out to there. That wouldn't even bother this composition at all because the composition is about the crop. What do you see as the subject?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, the assignment was 2 different textures, so I'm seeing somewhat of a matte, smooth surface, and the subject is shiny but rusty. So it's a rough but shiny texture compared to a smooth matte texture.
Right.
So I'm kind of like going for a double entendre there.
Yep. I don't see any one thing on here as being a subject. that would be my first choice under different circumstances, but it's not in focus. And the reason I would say that would be my subject is because it's the only thing that's not cropped. See what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But because it's out of focus, that's not the subject. Subject is the texture, and you know, possibly the wrenches because they're shiny. Really good, really good. Keith.
How you doing, Don?
Good, I'm doing well. You still got motorcycles in the living room?
You gotta have them, right?
Oh, yeah. Tried to explain that to my wife. She goes, I don't care who this Keith is. You're not having a motorcycle.
Not to get it. I don't get it.
I don't know. Really, look at the lovely highlights. So are these plastic?
They're jeweler's files with like, kind of a plastic end on, orange.
Yeah, because that looks like a ballpoint pen there. You see the transition, folks, between the reflective, the softbox being reflected into that plastic because the plastic's very shiny. And you see the sharp drop off right there. The transition from the specular to the true value. That is what tells us it's shiny. We see it here. We see texture in the actual files, but this is very shiny right here. Do you see that? And we can tell it's very shiny because of that transition. The transition is everything in lighting. Whether you're going from the specular to the true value to the shadow detail, how it transitions tells us everything. What lens, sir?
85 1.8.
Oh, I saw it right there. Yeah, cool. Clean shot.
I was gonna go with the 105 and try to, use the macro to get closer in on the details of the files, but I thought coming back and getting some of the reflection kind of would bring the point home a little bit more.
Yeah, possibly. What you get into the 105, 100 area here with these things, and we start to flatten them out a little bit.
Yeah.
You probably flatten it out a little bit with an 85 anyway. Yeah, looks good.
Thanks.
Looks really good. This is on Arnold Gallardo. Arnold,
Hi.
how
Hi,
are
Don.
you?
Good. I actually started this very differently. I wanted just to have flowers in the background, and I started to have just a plexiglass, and then it was not working. It was just so high key. So I just started adding elements to it, and this is what I came up with. And I also wanted to avoid adding more lights. So this is just a single light, and to expose that candle, that was an LED.
Yeah.
I did a 4-second exposure and then just very quick and sync, and this is what I have. There's no Photoshop work on this. The only thing that I would probably have changed is to add a white reflector on the cologne so that the leftmost rose is gonna have a little bit more value.
Okay. Here's a couple of things I want you to do. I want you to fix that right there.
Okay.
That right there. I want you to pull out some texture in there. Lightroom, Capture One, however you do it, just a little bit. I don't even want to see this much of it. I just don't want this to go black. The
Right.
reason?
So like a zone 4?
Yeah. And you've worked with me before. So what's the reason? The reason
What do
is
you
that
mean?
this is the darkest area
Yeah. Right.
next to the brightest area here. And so it becomes a point of source for our vision. We're just going to look right at it.
Right.
We want to pull that up. We want the three brightest things to be the watch, candle, and the $1 million gold pressed latinum there.
Right. Okay.
Love the detail in the old flowers here. And I really like the detail on the leather, we're getting this back here that you see, this big flat light, that is a reflection of the light source, which is a large softbox or softbox scrim. What is it?
Yeah, it's just strip light with a scrim in front.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a huge, huge light source. So you can see that it's basically lighting up all of this. By the way, we're asking today, it looks like a suitcase.
It is a suitcase.
Yep. I guess for the next couple of months, might as well use it for a background. I don't think anybody's going to be flying anywhere for a while.
Yeah, I didn't want to add more lights because, I mean, my feeling is, I mean, I could have added more lights on it. I mean, I could have added so many little things, but I wanted to challenge myself to just work with a single light, make it work.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. You just open this up in here a little bit. If I look at it and I see you opened it up, you did too much. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just want to feel it. I want to feel that leather in there.
All right.
Just a tiny, tiny bit.
All right.
Nicely, very nicely done. Barbara Sherman has some locks here.
I have locks. Yep.
And
I did this all in the dark basement, so it was pitch black, and I just did light painting because that's something I really want to learn. And so this was just done with a little tiny mag light with an elbow on it, a PVC elbow at the end of it. And so I light painted it. And actually that's 10 shots that I light painted and put together.
Okay. Yep.
Because I couldn't get it any other way.
Build yourself a tiny softbox, a tiny round softbox for a round catch light, and a tiny strip light for your light painting. You'll have so much fun because the hard light will only do hard light.
Yes, it does.
Right.
You're a legend, Don.
What's that?
You're a legend. That's an awesome tip.
I am legend. Yeah, they made a movie. Will Smith played me.
So if I use a little strip light with a little tiny softboxy kind of thing.
Yep.
For lack of a better term.
Something maybe, like, I don't know if you can see me, but yeah, 3-inch square, and then when you're painting, you've actually, because you're in real close with it.
I was in really close, yeah.
Yeah, you're in real close with it. So, but you've got a big coverage of light. So you get those liquid highlights as long as you don't stop.
Right.
Constantly moving.
I never know what I'm getting because I can't see it as I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do so many pictures, and I was sitting there just painting and painting and painting different things. And I've only done it once before, tried. So this is something I'm trying to learn during all this class. I'm just going to start doing a lot of light painting for things.
Well, good.
Because I like the looks of it. I just don't know how to do it.
Go up and make friends with Carol.
Yeah, I know she does it. I know she does.
She does like motorcycles.
Yeah.
And out in front of her house, when she did that portrait of me up in Calgary, out in front of her house, and then I'm sitting there with her daughter who runs the iPad for the duo, and she's lighting up the trees that are, half a football field away from us. And they're keeping track of exactly what every shot they did. And I think she ended up with 65 or 70 individual exposures that she then lined up
together. Right.
It's pretty wild. Oh, and she mixed strobe and continuous light. So she shot, when I was there, she shot me with strobe. And then after that part of the motorcycle was done and I sat down, then the rest of it was all
continuous.
Continuous, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Leonardo, buddy.
Hey, Don.
How are you, my friend?
I'm glad to be back. I'm super stoked.
What's really cool about this class is I'm seeing names from Project 52 from like 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago.
And many portraits classes.
Yeah.
I think I've done every single portrait class you've ever offered.
Well, good. This is really nice. This is really, really nice. I'm going to tell you what I really like about it. I'm going to tell you one little thing that bothers me. Okay, I love the texture through here, especially here. Look at that. And the light catching every one of those things. This is where the magic happens. Everybody thinks the magic's the big light. Magic's not the big light. The magic's what's happening down in here, down where that one comes out from underneath of that. And right here where those two lighter spheres are in front of the darker one. This is all the magic. I love this right in here. This highlight, that even the lip of this bottle. The only thing, Leonardo, that doesn't work for me is losing that focus right there.
Oh,
damn! I don't want to lose. I don't care about this because I want this and I want this to be in focus, because that's going to give me this bottle. That is going to show me that the bottle's got a lot of dimension as it slightly falls out of focus back there.
got it.
That's an easy fix.
Yeah. I shot it with a macro 100 f16 with two one big large softbox with a grid and a smaller softbox, of course, on camera right with the grid.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of tweaking it.
Yeah.
And
I'm wondering if your F16, what did you focus on? Please don't tell me you focused on that right there.
I focused on, that's either, I think I was focusing on the rope, but
here?
I can't, yeah. I think I focused on the rope, but.
Oops. Here's what happened. Got your, get up here. We got your bottle here, okay? And your, looks like your handle's going away a little bit. Your camera's
yeah, it's going away.
So your camera's over here like this. And when you focused at F16, you focused at that rope, which is like right here, that focus plane, right?
Yeah.
So you go back 2/3 of depth of field up here, and then front we got this depth of field here that is basically air.
Yeah.
Move this
somehow, so
focus
yeah,
back to here, and then we'd have
in my mind, I thought that the handle was not important. I wanted the rope to be sharp all around the neck of that jar or a bottle, whatever. So I was focused on the rope.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I lost totally. I wasn't thinking about.
This is not a deal killer. I'm just telling you how I would do it, just to tweak it a little bit. It's not a deal killer. It really is a good shot.
Got it.
Really is a good shot. In commercial work, if this was the client's baby, you just shot the baby with his left eye, out of focus, basically. All commercial photography is baby photography. All of it. Baby photography, mom comes in, dad comes in, you take a picture of little Junior and they just, every picture is beautiful. This is somebody's baby. This is what, whether it's a antique or contemporary jar, this is their baby. And so we have to treat it exactly the same. Love your fill light from over here, my friend. That's really nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Really good job. Graham. Hey, buddy.
Hey there.
So,
we had some fun with this.
Yeah. What is it?
It's costume jewelry.
Okay.
On, a junk shop water fountain.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But it's shot with the lens baby, wide open lens baby, velvet. So the distance between the cross, which is a brooch, and the two earrings, the distance between that and the water fountain at the back is probably only 15 millimeters, if that.
Okay.
So the The depth of field is nothing. It's a sliver. And the lens baby, unlike the old Zeiss lenses, where you can have a fair bit of play in the lens when you're adjusting it, the lens baby, if you move it a millimeter, it moves at 10 millimeters on the focal point. It's challenging. But yeah, had some fun.
Good. Good. I love the color through this thing. It's really fun. It's doing a lot of weird focus things here.
That's the lens baby, because the focus is so narrow that what the Velvet does, it adds like an old Hollywood glow blur sort of look to it.
Yeah.
So because that one down the bottom is, I mean, we're talking about millimeters, but that's the depth of field of this when it was wide open. That is hitting the front of that feature down the bottom. So the thing that's in focus is really the diamantes and the cameo.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this as the hero of the shot. That's the point of the shot. These are too far down to be the point of the shot. They're just sort of extras. Very cool playing with the lens baby, huh?
Oh yeah.
I bought one the first weekend they came out. I was in New York at one of those convention fairs. I don't go to them anymore, like Photo East and all that stuff. And I was there, and the guys were opening up their booth, and I thought, well, that'd be cool. So I was talking to him, and he said, hey, let me give you one of these. And I still have it. It's the kind that you had to push your fingers in.
Yeah.
And then one day I was shooting with it, trying to master it, and I thought, wow, I've got a $2,500 camera body with a 30-cent piece of plastic on the front of it. I'm not sure that makes any sense to me.
I wouldn't be using those, but I love the look of the Velvet. Absolutely adore what it's capable of doing.
Yeah.
I've been looking around for probably 3 or 4 years before I really, I mean, I got that off the swap. Somebody wanted something, and I said, well, I'll do a deal. I'll swap this for you.
Well, they've got some pretty fancy lenses, that company now, don't they?
Yeah. But the problem with the Velvet like this, and I'm close, that photo, I'm incredibly close, because I just wanted nothing but the front of that, the diamantes and the cameo. The problem with the lens babies, as I said, like, you know, with the old Zeiss lens, they've got a long barrel, so you can move it and slowly adjust your focus. You move that lens baby at 2.8 and it's out of focus. You move it 2 millimeters and it's out of focus. It's that hard to focus. I actually watched a lot of the forums of people using the lens babies, and now after using it, I understand why they have so much trouble producing good photos, because they're just not taking enough time, basically.
And it sounds like using a 51.2 on a 6D, where there's not nearly enough focusing points. So all the damn 51.2 does is like, okay, we'll try the 1.4. All right, Joe. Beautiful highlights on this thing.
Thanks.
This is basically what we're seeing here is a reflection of a large light source. Scrim
to the right with a soft strip box behind it.
Yep, all the way through here. All of this basically is that big scrim being reflected back to us, except that where the angles do not allow it to see the scrim, like right there, and like right down there. And then you've got a big something over here, right?
There's a card standing on that side.
Because we can see that, you can see the card right in there, right down there, and over along here. Very nice. Wow, that's cool. I still haven't gotten my red camera, Joe. Still haven't gotten it.
When I thought I ordered a black one, but the red one was in the box.
I'm all over the red. I wanted one of those Nikons when it came out, the Ferrari red D3400 or something.
Right.
Never did get one.
I remember when I went and saw you in Seattle, Don, that you were wanting the red Nikon.
Yep. I got when I went and ordered my audio recorder, I did get my red one. So, all right, very nice, Joe. One thing to watch out for, you know what I'm going to tell you. Tangents.
Tangents, yeah. I've got a bunch of different angles.
Yeah.
Some are better than others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. And oh wow, look at that, Eileen Thomas. Eileen, are you out there, Eileen?
There's no audio or
no
video.
audio.
It's in the chat.
Got it. Yeah, I just pulled that up. I saw that blink and I thought, oh, okay, that's what it is. All right, this is really lovely, Eileen. I am not sure what you did for lighting. You've definitely got a hard shadow here. So I'm going to say you've done some hard light in here. That's what that's from right there. But we look at this blue down the side. Is there another light to that side coming in this way, Eileen? I'm watching the chat. Strobe softbox on the left. That's what's giving us that highlight in here. Oh, there's a BTS. All right, I'll look at that. Very cool. All right, so this is where it gets dangerous. If I click on this, we lose everything over here. Facebook technology. So I'm going to right click it. Open link in new window. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I speak too soon. Come on, thing. Okay, so softbox from this side. It looks like a very tiny little spotlight here and a desk lamp on this side, and that's throwing that hard shadow. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I really like the look because it's really different. It's really, really different. Don't worry about them being primitive. Some of the greatest photographers in the world have used really primitive stuff. This is gorgeous. I like it a lot. Yep. Yeah. Is this question was? Is this an egg? A water chestnut. All right. Cool. Love it. Love the creativity. So cool. Okay. Now, if you've joined us late, here's what you got to do. You got to go to the album, photos. You go to photos, you click on photos, you get this, click on albums, click on this album, the review for today, and then up here, more add photos and videos. Do that to add your video because I had not refreshed the page. We may not have your shot in here. I'm going to refresh the page right now. Oh. All right, whose picture have we not seen?
This is Jay, mine.
Did you
it's not
put
in
it
there.
Here in this?
It's not in there. It's in the other. I didn't get it there.
Don, mine is not there either. This is Lee.
I'm sorry, who?
Mine's not.
Lee.
Mine's not there either, Jorge.
Did you put it in this group picture in the album?
I put it in the group, the main chat with the hashtag.
Guys, go and do it now. Only take a sec.
Yeah.
Hold on.
If you haven't done it yet, go do it, guys. We'll wait for you. Not a Not a problem. We have time.
How is there?
Whoever's talking is very faint. I cannot hear you.
Don, can you hear me?
Now
This
I
is
can.
E.
I can't do this. Okay, letting essentials. Portfolio class.
All right. So we have.
To get
I
out
put
of
on
here.
my pictures before you put the hashtag.
Yeah, but you can't do that because it's the only way we can see them. So you've got to go in and put them in the album right now if you can. And I'm making an album for next week already. So it will be there. And that will make it so much easier for next week, especially if I'm going to put in the morning and evening groups. And then we'll know which group you're in. Which is not carved in stone. Obviously, if you get up and you have to do something that morning, you decide you're going to come to the evening group, do that, of course. No problem. We'll work it out.
Mine is up.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, so we've got this one. Whose is this?
Jorge.
Jorge. All right, good. Who else are we waiting for?
Mine.
Okay.
Okay, mine is.
And Jay?
Mine it shows there. Mine shows in the album actually. I have a camera, Petro camera. Petro.
All right.
Petro.
Let's do a hard refresh here. Oh.
What is that?
All right. Well.
Lee, do you have yours out in the group or did you put it in the album?
Well, it is.
Because if it's out on the group page, that's why he's not seeing it.
Exactly. So.
All right.
That's why he was trying to tell you how to do it. From the group page, if you go to photos and then go to album, you can click add photo.
Right.
And there's Jay's seashells.
Okay. Photos. Oh, album. Okay, so how do we transfer from the photos to the album though?
You can't transfer them. You have to, if you don't have them on your computer, you would have to download the picture that you put up and then put it into the album. It won't let you just move it over.
That's what I'm doing now. So let me see if I can find yours as I'm scrolling through here. Melissa Wax. All right. Mark Shaw, we saw Mark's. Oh, is Joey Garcia here? Joey, you here?
All right, let's see if I can.
All right. So here we go. Easy peasy. See if there's anybody else that's missing here. We saw these, saw that.
Let's see.
All right. I think we're in good shape. So now I'm going to go back here to photos and then albums. I'm going to click on this album right here and I'm going to drag.
I'm working on it.
these image over. Come on. Oh, great. I see. Have to do one image at a time into the album, huh? Well, let's try this. Add photos and video. It says photos.
That's weird.
It says photos. Let's see if it'll take more than one. All right, let's try that. Boom. Hey.
Smoking.
So far. Okay. So I can put this away. I'll lose my progress. Sorry. What progress am I losing?
Post at the bottom of the page.
Post. Thank you very much. Now that's success right there, folks. All right, let's get back into this. Jay, are you there? Jay?
I have about 5 minutes before I gotta go back to class. I told my students
I'm here. I'm here.
Who's that? Who needs to go?
Jorge.
Jorge?
Yeah.
All right. So you played the super smooth plastic against the old metal here.
Yeah. It's very dusty, rusty steel table.
I love the light on this thing for a product shot. Wow. Just beautiful. Look at this gradient right across here. I think I would pull the color, this orange.
Yeah.
Pull it up a little bit. Do you have what's it called? Nick effects?
No.
Okay. Then you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned hard way, which is to outline each one of these letters.
Yeah.
Move it to a new layer, all of them on the same layer, and then just basically, then when they're above this, hit them with lighten.
Okay.
And then change your opacity. So you'll probably end up with a second layer of these letters above this one at about, I'd lighten it about 20%, you know, but that'll work.
Okay.
These guys are darker than this.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We want these guys to be that light right up in here.
Okay.
Right. So it stands out really nicely. Haven't talked in a long time. How you doing over there?
Well, the ceasefires were okay. The economy just completely and utterly crashed. So I don't know how long the lights will be on.
Yeah, well, that is, people in New York City are wondering the same thing. So for the first time in many years, Jorge, your concerns and people living in Manhattan are now the same.
But we have toilet paper.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm going to go with uncharted territory we are in, folks.
Bump guns. I'm seriously install bump guns.
Kill the green.
Okay.
All right. Really cool. Good job. Go back to class, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
Seeing your work and seeing you next time.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And let's go to here we go. This is, how do I say it? Ligia?
Ligia.
Ligia?
Yes.
All right. What a great old camera.
Isn't that wonderful?
What a great old camera. Yeah. Petries.
Yeah.
I had a Petrie. My dad had a Petrie. He and I shared it. I really liked that camera. It was really, really cool.
It is very, very cool. And it's still functioning.
Oh, this camera will outlast all of us. It will. It'll just last that long. Outlast all of us. It's such a. There's no batteries in this thing. It's just springs. Cool. And it looks like you got the 50 millimeter.
Yes.
All right. So we've got a large light source to this side of it in front to give us this that light there, and it's all over here. So am I right in thinking it's a big white bounce card?
Yes.
And then you've got a softbox over here.
Yes. Actually, the section where the lens is pointing to is through the window. It's a big window. And I have a car behind it. And I have the battery is leaning up in a clunky clock, which is very out of metal and it's heavy. So basically what you see is a large window through the window.
All right. Yeah, and it's whatever is on that window, curtains or anything else, is being blown out because it's just not sharp. It's the depth of field is taking care of whatever's in that window.
Right.
Nicely. Good. I would like, next time you do something like this, I'd like to get a little card about that wide, you know, into these numbers here. I really would like to pull them out. Everything else on here looks really great, but I'd like not to lose these depth of field lines and everything like that. That'd be very cool.
Right.
Good job. Very good job. Do you shoot this camera?
Did I shoot? No, I haven't in one of my collections. I haven't shoot it yet, but I know it works. I keep telling, actually you talked to my husband, Derek, over the phone about 2-3 weeks ago. I keep telling him, I want to study, I want to take the 52 project. I'll call him and ask questions. I don't know if I can do it. And he kept telling me, and I said, no, you call. And I said, no, you call because I'm teaching all day and I cannot do it. So you call. So
Okay,
you actually talk to Derek.
Hold on for a second. Mark is Project 52. Graham is Project 52. Jay is Project 52. What do you think, guys? Should she take Project 52?
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. We have a lot of women in Project 52. As a matter of fact, we just enrolled.
Best thing I ever did.
For the next class, and we've got 2 women already. So we have 1 year, we had 65% women all the way through, 65% women. I love it. I love it when people go, oh, women are unrepresented in photography. I'm not in Project 52, they're not.
Like that.
And they get out and make photographs and kick butt. It's great. All right, well, you give me a call if you have any other questions too.
Totally. Yes. So now that we are at home teaching online, I can give you calls.
There you go. It's always a bright lining to everything. We look for it.
But thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, no
Really
problem.
appreciate it.
Love it.
I mean, you're having a terrific time.
All right, I think this is David Thielens. David, are you out there? David? David's up in the very cold country. This is Melissa Wax. Melissa, you out there? Really, really like this picture. I like the fruit going bad aspect of it. I love the colors. I've never had a yellow hammer, but now I want one really bad. The texture all on in here, where the chrome on this hammerhead is being worn off is really cool. And then it's a very brave composition. You know, it's kind of like everything's down here. The hammer's cropped out, but the apple's not. So if we really look at this, the star of this show is the beat up apple. Like the reflections back here. I really like brave composition. I think you can really change up your portfolio sometimes by putting your subject where you may not think of putting your subject. This is Barbara Sherman's. Jay.
Hi.
Hey, I like this one, Jay.
Good.
All the textures and everything. These are from your frequent trips to.
Actually, but most of them were collected by my wife before we met, so I owe her that debt. But they're great. The shells are great, and then this is on our porch, which is concrete, and then there's a fence there that has different sort of curlicues on it, not curlicues, but has rounded parts on it. So I looked out the window and I said, wow, there's a lot of great light out there and shadow. And what I was thinking was what we had talked about at a previous point, where there's different layers to the image.
Mm-hmm.
So one layer is the concrete, another layer is the bowl with the
rim. Yeah, the rim of the bowl is its own like layer, because you're breaking through the rim here and breaking through here, down in here. Yeah.
And then the shadows are on top of that. So there's multiple. It has an additional layer to it.
Yeah.
So
really nice. Let's go back to
you.
You had another one in here. Let me go. This one. Now, is there water in this?
No.
Okay. This has a blue hour look to it.
It was window light with a I know what happened. I have lights hanging above it, and I had them on to contribute some light, light to the image. And I think that's where the blue might be coming from, literally.
Well, it's the blue. I love the blue in the background, but the blue is stealing all the warmth from the sky. You know, the very warm colors there. Let's see if we can bring those back. Hang tight. Come on, computer. You're like Star Trek. Computer? Here we go.
I mean, there were a couple more that I did because the light was really interesting on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the bowl right down the middle of where the light divides between dark and light.
So what I'm going to do here is very simply where's my other oh well, I'm just going to come around here. Yeah. I'm missing a tool here, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
See if I can do this in one fell swoop, because if I lift my finger off, it only catches that little bit there. Back around. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. That's with a mouse. Huh? Not bad, huh? With a mouse, no tablet. Mousy-wousy. All right. All right, I'm going to change my edges here. Modify my border to about 10 pixels. Okay, and then Command J. I just moved it up to its own layer. I'm going to put that layer in a folder. And then inside the folder, I'm going to run a, let's see, a photo filter. All right, so running the photo filter on this warmth part here, but obviously it's bleeding onto there. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. I don't use it. I don't do this usually, but all right. So there we have that. I'm going to add a mask to the whole thing. And with black, was black, or do I want white? Nope, want black. Huh, didn't pick up my background, did it? Why did it do that? Anyway, Jay, I probably wouldn't do it in Lightroom anyway. I'd do it in Photoshop. I mean, wouldn't do it in Photoshop. I'd do it in Capture One or Lightroom and simply warm this up a little bit. When you do that, it'll let that blue settle in and they'll pop off the page. And you won't have to do any burning or dodging or anything. Just that warmth will bring them off. At which point you're basically color grading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very cool.
Thank you.
All right. That didn't work at all. So, any questions from anyone about what we're doing here, or did we miss anybody's photographs? The next assignment is lighting. And the way we get to the next assignment is, of course, we go back to our home page.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Come on, here we go.
I didn't think you could hear me. This is Mildred. You didn't do my picture.
Where was it?
It's on that page. It's the ice cream sandwiches.
Oh yeah, we did it earlier, Mildred. Yeah, we'll pop back over there. Yeah, I did it. I didn't know who was coming to which, so I went through all the pictures this morning. And I'm glad you caught me because there's something about your ice cream sandwiches I want you to investigate. Well,
but I already ate them.
I saw.
Sounds like an opportunity to have more ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, it's not in this. It's not in this group here. So.
Yeah, hers was one that you found with the hashtag earlier this morning.
Photos.
Actually, it was a very cool image. Very cool.
We'll find it here.
There they are, next to the orange drink.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. I really, really, really like your use of the paper here, but watch out for that tangent right there where the corner of the ice cream hits the corner tear of the paper. either let the paper go under that ice cream like that, or let it surround the ice cream and let the ice cream be on the paper. That little corner is a little bit bothersome. However, I love the texture all the way through this. I would put a little highlight right up on there, maybe a little highlight right up on there, with a little bit of dodging. Very slight, Mildred, very slight. We don't want to see a highlight. We want to feel a highlight up on there. But the thing that I think it's going to be easy for you to do, for number one, you can add a little paper here and we'll get rid of that tangent. And the paper can come from here. That little guy sticking up there just detracts from the whole shot because there's no other paper sticking up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah, okay.
Yep. Let's kill that. The little ice cream going down the edge, I realize that's ice cream down there. That's fine. But let's kill that paper. And then those two ice cream bars are all by themselves jutting out into the space there. And it really, really makes sense. And we fix this little corner and it's going to be a better shot.
Okay.
And did you eat both of them, Mildred?
I did.
And we're proud of you. Thank you
I
so
thought
much.
maybe the flash from the camera, from the strobes I was using was bringing up some of the calories, so I ate it.
I'd go with that.
Yeah, it's my
I'd
thing.
use that. Yeah. 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 Every time you had to do a test shot, they took another 25% of calories off. Pretty soon, you're actually getting healthier eating them. That's the point.
That's what I thought. Yes.
Love it. Nicely done. Did we miss anyone else?
Hey, Don, do you have a moment? This is Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
I was working during the day, so I didn't really get a chance to catch the afternoon class. This is the bread.
Yeah. What? You weren't there?
I think you talked about it earlier today.
You weren't there, huh? I thought you were there.
No, I work in cybersecurity, so we're very, very busy. There it is.
Okay.
Right next to the Buddha. You just scroll past.
There we go. Well, Robert, I could say a lot about the bread, right? But all you need to know about the bread is right there.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually, Keith and I talked about that. I was hoping Judy would see it.
If Don likes your bread, it's like, okay, Don likes bread and stuff. That's Judy. If Judy likes your bread, damn. Yeah, I was saying that, it's very artisanal bread. So it's got quite a hard crust on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the bread is really, really, what would we say? Not compact, dense.
Yes.
So we got the way we have to show the bread as looking like bread, we got to show those holes. So you got to light it from the side, which is what you did. You brought your main lighting in from over here. So we see the texture all the way through this bread. It looks just great. Looks just great. How did you light it?
So we had a softbox up to the right, and then we had a flag over to the left. And I'll be honest with you, I've been watching what Keith has been learning, and this even goes way back to Creative Live.
Yeah.
Creative Live, you did a lighting class, and you lit a boombox, and you were showing how to wrap the light around the circular surface on the sides. And so I was taking that into consideration and finding the light in that lower left-hand corner just above the knife and making it important, but not strong enough because I wanted the crevices, I wanted the cracks, I wanted all that stuff.
One of the things that will split a professional, someone who's been doing it a long time, from a newbie is how they handle this. And when I go on a set with someone who hasn't been shooting very long, they do not have any plans for their ambient. Talk to Eric and you talk to James Eisel. Those guys, your ambient is number one. So what that means I got to get rid of all those drawings. What that means is when you when you're setting up, this is for fashion, portraiture, almost anything. You have to establish your darkest area. The highlights are easy. That's just your lighting. That's all the fun toys you get to play with, umbrellas and all. That's your creating highlight. What happens in the shadow? So what you see a lot online, and I'm not going to use any names, that's not what I do, but you'll see someone, they'll say, and here's a fashion lighting idea for you. And they'll have a picture of a girl over here. Sue me, I don't draw women, okay? And they'll say, and there's an umbrella here, and there's a big fill card over here. And if you want to make a normal, crappy, looks like everybody else's shot, there you go. Knock yourselves out. But here's the reality. You set up your paper, and then you set up your ambient. So we're going to make a decision on how dark is on that shot. Yeah, I know we can use the shadow sliders, yawn. Who cares? Let's make a perfect image, shall we? So we're going to take a big old 4x6 softbox from this side here. We're going to establish our ambient coming from the left. We're going to set that softbox at F4 on the subject.
Okay.
So we're going to go over and take a meter reading of our subject here. And the meter reading down the side of them is F4. Now, we're going to light them from the dark side. So I'm going to bring a octabox in here. Well, kind of you get the point. Octabox in from over there. And I'm going to bring a little strip light down here because we're doing leather pants and I want the leather to really sing. And we're going to shoot that at F8. If we turn this flash off over here, she's wearing black leather. How dark does this side go?
Exactly. It goes black.
Black. If we leave this on, how dark does it go? 2 stops.
Yep.
2 stops. And we control that 2 stops. If that's 2 stops isn't quite enough, we'll walk over here and turn that ambient up. If it's too much, we'll come over here and turn the ambient down. The point is we control everything on the set. Everything in front of your camera is up to you, and you should not, unless it's dire emergency, you should not depend on Lightroom or Capture One to save you.
Right.
Those are tools to help you. You're so beautiful when it comes out of the camera and you go, wow. And then you put it in Capture One and you go, well, I'll take this curve up just a little bit, and it just kicks. But if we have to fix it, then there's really only so far we can go.
Yeah.
If we're going to tweak it, we can go that far and more.
It's interesting you say that, Don. So 2 things I got to say is I've been listening to you for the last 1.5 years.
I'm so sorry, Robert.
2.5 years.
So sorry.
And no, it's okay. But I mean, it's been playing in the background. I've been listening to everything. From angle of incident to all the different principles.
Angle of reflection. Yeah.
That's actually, that shot is my first shot that I've taken. The bread. And honestly, we didn't do much in Lightroom.
We really didn't.
I told Keith the first thing is post it the way it is, because it, in my view, it shows what we wanted. And it was cool. But so I want you to know that regardless of whether you're in class or not, listening to what you have to say is very important. And
well, thank you very much. Thank you.
It's been good.
Don, can I make a comment here?
Yes.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, because nobody talks about lighting ratios anymore. Everybody's just fixing post-production, and that's it.
It's worse than that, Arnold. I've actually heard professional photographers who should know better say things like, "Oh, you don't need a meter."
Right.
Okay. And I think, okay, I got a question for you. Just one.
And we did a little bit of content.
Just one. Here's your histogram. and you got your histogram like this. Okay. How much overexposed is that?
Oh,
a lot.
It could be 1 stop. It could be 12 stops. There's no, once you get to the wall, you're done.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So let's move it over there. So we're going to even out the histogram here, and it comes, and it comes down right here. Okay. That's really great. How dark is this? Is that pure black? Oh, we can pull this down. We can do, why don't we just shoot it correctly? Get a perfect curve on the capture, and then we can do anything we want to it. You ever see the RGB? This used to happen in my workshops, my live workshops, which were more popular than my dead workshops. I just want to say that. The live workshops beat them all.
Give it a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we would we'd look on the back of guys shooting 5D Mark IIs, and there'd be a red histogram, and there'd be a blue histogram, and there'd be a green histogram, and that's what they would have. So their back of their camera was like the photograph that they're trying to evaluate is hidden behind this giant histogram of red, green, and blue. And I would say, oh, that's a great histogram. How are you going to fix that? I was like, what are you going to do? You're shooting a model in front of a red wall and your red histogram goes up here. Okay. What are you going to do? What are you going to change? There's nothing to change. It's just a knowledge thing. And they let that get in the way of the picture. It's the picture that matters. It's not all of this stuff. You can fix this later if you want to. I was talking to someone the other night and I said, when you go into the slot canyons up in Page, and you get those beautiful red sandstone rocks, when you're in the slot canyons, and Jay's been there with me, when we're in the slot canyons, they're not red, are they?
No.
They're kind of a baby poo brown. They're just brown rocks. It's the way the light hits the crystals of the sandstone that turns them red. Now you can go back and flatten out that big old red histogram here if you want, but I don't think you're going to like the image. Sometimes perfect color is not what we want. All right. Anything else?
Thank you, Don.
Don,
Thank you, Don. See you tomorrow.
Yes. What was that?
I have a question. How many images do we need to post on Facebook? Only one, and how we
behind the scenes. Yes.
With the settings.
Yes, and we had a lot of people doing more than one image this week. I'm going to ask that you not do that next week. Everybody, just one image. We got, we did 2 hours this morning and an hour and a half this evening. I don't care. I'll go another hour. Doesn't bother me. I want to make sure all of my people out there in the world are safe, being entertained and being creative. So we're going to be as creative as we can over these next dozen weeks or so, and make some use from them. I hope you're all thinking about portfolio work, a book. Maybe this is a good time to start your journaling. All kinds of things. But let's stay creative, all of us, and whoop this thing. Don't let it whip us. We're going to whoop it. And on that, good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Good night, Don.
Bye.
Done.
Good night, Don.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.